Hello, fellow ink drinkers, and welcome back to the Blind Girls Book Talk podcast. My name is Aria.
And I'm Belle.
And we are two legally blind sisters who love reading and love books. And so what we've done is we've created this show in order to talk about that. We talk about a wide variety of bookish content, and that can range from bad retellings of stories, book-to-movie adaptation comparisons, buddy reads, recent reads, bookish challenges. Really, the list does go on and on. And today is a weird day.
Yeah.
So if you can't tell from how Belle sounds, Belle is a little under the weather today.
Yeah, I woke up during Friday night and my throat hurt. I just thought, I'm sleeping with my mouth open. But I kept waking up in the middle of the night with a sore throat, and I just kept drinking water and just going back to bed like, it's fine, this is fine. Woke up, I was not fine. Did I still go to contracts? Yep. Should I probably not have gone to contracts? Probably.
Yeah.
Could I not move on Saturday? Nope. But I'm slightly more alive. I don't know. I sound really bad.
Yeah. So today...
Sorry.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of coughing.
Yeah, sorry. I can't help it.
So that being said, we were supposed to talk about favorite series.
That ain't happening.
The thing is that we also have realized we have talked about our favorite series a lot and series that we really enjoy. So I feel...
Just go back through old normal sounding Belle episodes.
Yeah, I was going to say throughout the entire, year and a half that we've been doing this, over a year and a half.
Especially for me, I thought, this is a really stupid thing to do because I swear I talk about the same 3 series. And that is all I talk about all the time.
Yeah.
4 series. I lied. 4.
Yeah. So it's pretty much just one of those,
This is kind of redundant to put
this
things.
is going to be redundant and not necessarily an ideal thing to do. So this is going to be kind of just random bookish thoughts. We also, I think, are going to talk about a little bit of reading slumps because I'm kind of currently going through one, and it's a problem.
I think I'm kind of in the same vein you are, but I'm still sticking to my New Year's resolution. What the heck? What is happening to my voice?
Yeah, you're having a time.
I'm sorry, it changed an octave there.
Yeah, you're having a time over there. But yeah, no, the thing is that I'm trying to go through, and there are books I want to read. I want to read Assistant to the Villain. I want to read The Fourth Wing. I have some other things that I need to read for the podcast. So, it's just one of those, how do I say it?
You have things to read, but none of them are fitting what you want to read.
Exactly. Or
I feel that way about case books.
Fair. Well, no, and the other thing too is that it's just you ever read a book and it leaves a really bad taste in your mouth? And you're just I don't know what just happened. And so
yes.
I need a hot minute to process all this.
Yes, but normally that happens halfway through those types of books. So I'm just nope, I'm done.
See, for me, I feel like I can normally catch it early. But then there are others that call it morbid curiosity. But you're there. It's like watching a train wreck almost. You're there and there is nothing more that you can do. You are in it at that point.
Yeah, I kind of get that. I mean, I'm kind of in a reading slump of my own. In the past week and a half, I started getting back into reading fantasy. Don't know what possessed me to do that. But I was possessed to do that. So I was reading some fantasy books on Kindle Unlimited, and then I was just kind of well, I kind of don't want to read fantasy, but I was but I also don't want to read romance. And at the same time, I'm but I really can't read any mysteries or thrillers because my brain hurts.
Maybe a cozy would do it for you.
I don't know. So, like, my New Year's resolution for this year, and that I've kept up through law school, don't ask me how I've done this, but I have, is every day I would read for myself. Like, even if it was, like, a chapter, because there was a day where I could only read a chapter, and I passed out in bed because I was like, my brain hurts. I'm so tired, but I need to read. So, like, I read a chapter, and I was like, it was, like, 5 pages, but I was like, that's progress.
Yeah.
So I like counted it. So like every day I'm reading something for me, and let me be specific on what the kind of things that go for that is it can't be anything related to law school.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be any scientific or educational journal of some sort or anything of that situation. It's very educational.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to read something that's like completely fun and has nothing to do with like
anything
with my brain.
Yeah. No, I get that. And like, honestly, that is a actually really good goal to have.
I'm doing it just because everybody's like, don't lose your hobbies in law school. And I can understand that because like, this is the times that try men's souls right here. Holy crap.
The struggle is real.
The struggle is real. It is terrifying. If you're thinking of going to law school, maybe rethink some life choices because there's no other way to put it than it sucks.
Yeah.
It really sucks. I mean, I love what I'm doing, so like I shouldn't complain too much because I love it, but it is a lot.
Yeah.
A lot, but like I'm always like, okay, well, I need to have something that isn't that focused so that way I can separate that me from like normal me.
Yeah.
So that's why I read every day. I read a book. I can't even remember what the last actual book I read is, but I'm like over 20 books ahead for my reading goal. So like I'm fine for now.
Well, speaking of reading goals, I'm going to do the quick math real quick because last month my reading,
we know you've surpassed your reading goal. Good for you.
No, in August I only read 8 books.
Oh, I don't know how many I read in August.
I only read 8 books in August. So I'm going to do some math real quick to see how many books I've read.
But anyway, I'm 104, 105 out of 125 or something. That is not being extended. I have read more books in a year before, but like that it's unrealistic right now. And I'm accepting that. Like, I know even next year and the year after, like, it's going to decrease significantly from that. And most people would hear, oh, 125, that's a lot. It's not to me. That's chunk change to me. But I'm close to completing that. But because I'm so close, like, kind of close-ish to completing that, and I'm kind of like, I don't really want to read anything that's on my Kindle. And, like, by the time I get home, I'm like, I just want darkness. Especially at night, so like I read on my Kindle. So I'm very much just like, I'm going to just go back to Wattpad, the thing that saved me in college.
Yeah.
For the time being, and I'm just going to read something just random. And that's what I've been doing the past, especially now, like as I'm sick. I'm like, I really do not want to read the Kindle. I do not want to, no, I don't want to. But I have read Wattpad. So I have been reading every day. It's just not actual books.
Yeah. So if I did my math right, I'm at 177 right now, which is above my reading goal.
I hate you.
But if my slump continues how it's been continuing, I am not going to get many more books in. Like,
I still hate you.
It's not going to happen. And I feel weird about that because, like, I don't know. It's one of those definitely, I'm in those moments like I should be reading right now. I should be listening to this audiobook, or I should be doing this, or I should be doing this. And I'm just like, nope.
Do you know, I'm going into week 5? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going into week 5 of law school. Do you know how many times I've like been like, I really do not want to look at any more words.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, nope. You gotta do it.
Yeah. That's why I'm thinking maybe this will be the era for you to finally get into audiobooks. Because
I honestly have no clue. But like, For me, I'm just like, I don't know how I'd work it. Like, I know how other people would be like, oh, listen to it on your walk to or from school. Listen, people, my like 15-minute janky walk to school, because the pavement sucks, is very much spent talking to my mother and father.
Yeah.
Because it's the only time I talk to them.
Yeah.
So it's like I spend that time talking to them, or I'll be calling Aria, hey, I'm on my way home. Can you do this, like have this ready for me by the time I get back? Or like the one day, it was probably my first actual week, or like second actual week of law school. My incision from my surgery that I had, my backpack, no, it was first week. My backpack had like something shifted in it. And so whenever I was walking home, like my laptop and laptop charger were digging into my incision. I'm like, I'm in so much pain.
Yeah.
Come get my backpack.
Yeah.
Because I was in so much pain. But I then switched my backpack, and now that thing's just a tortoise shell, and
Yeah.
it's half my size.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really weird for me too, because the other thing is that for those of you who read like on the Kindle app, they have like those little bookmark achievements.
Oh, she's obsessed with those.
I am obsessed with those. Like
I'm not that obsessed. Because I have it on my actual Kindle device. She reads on her iPad. My device doesn't show those things.
Yeah, the app does though. And like, let me tell you, ever since I have gotten those like on the app, I have legitimately completed every set every couple months that they do it. Like it's like through the seasons.
And then when we shared a Kindle, because I shared Aria's Kindle app for a while.
Yes.
In college. And then like pretty much before we came here.
Yes.
Before we moved, I shared with Aria. So she'd have me help her with the achievements.
Yes.
She's like, is there anything of this that you want to read? I mean, I can.
Do it.
Do it. Get me this bookmark. And I'm just like, fine, I'll get you this bookmark.
And some of them are very tricky, because I know there was one that was nonfiction that I actually had to cheat my way through, because I could not. Like, nonfiction is not my jam. I can't do it. Some people would be like, you're rotting your brain with all the fiction. No, guess what? I don't care. I don't
I read too much nonfiction in my everyday life.
And for me, I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to read nonfiction. I don't want to. For me, I feel like nonfiction, yes, it is very informative, but also there can be a lot of like doom and gloom stuff in there too for a nonfiction. And it's a no from me. Like, I read to escape reality. I do not need reality to creep into my books. I don't need it. I don't want it. It's a big old nope-a-reno from me.
I mean, I personally have more nonfiction than Aria does.
You do.
But, like, most of mine are, like, psychology, how the brain works, a lot of quote books. I am bad with that.
Yeah, you have a lot more than I do.
But, like, they're all very specific. Like, I have, like, my random facts books. I have the book on our vision.
On your true crime.
And my true crime. Yes, I have my true crime. And then, I don't even know how this started. Somehow, I got a book whenever I was younger of, like, Benjamin Franklin's best quotes. But from then on, to every historical home or something like that, like, I have the quotes of Thomas Jefferson. Apparently, I quoted him the other day whenever I was, like, very sleep deprived. Didn't know I did that. But I will just get these books of famous people's quotes.
Yeah.
And I'll memorize them.
Apparently so.
Apparently.
Yeah, no, I'm very different. Sometimes I'll get, like, quote books, but, like, mine is, like, Dr. Seuss or, like, Disney or something. Like, something that's more, like, fun and whimsical.
Yeah, you have a lot more, like, of, like, the Disney nonfiction books, like, about, like, the park and stuff.
Yeah.
I took a Disney college writing course, and honestly, that class taught me a lot more than I wanted to know.
And I have a lot of, like, mythology books.
You do. You have a lot of mythology.
I have a lot of mythology books.
Or, like, ancient Egypt history books.
Yeah, so, like, that's mine. But, like, so that kind of shows the very much different, like, things in our personality. I'm definitely more like whimsical and like just like out there and like ancient history kind of things. And you are pretty much everything else.
Yeah. Oh, I also have some Civil War books. I forgot
you
I
do.
had those.
Yes, you do. But anyways, reading slumps.
Reading slumps. Yeah, Wattpad is my saving grace currently. Because I don't forget what the last one is. It was some sort of like Beauty and the Beast retelling. And I don't know what it was about it. But like I came home the next day and I'm like, I do not want to read another. And like those were like most of what was on my Kindle. And
It's a big old no.
romance. And I was just like, I do not want any of those. Like I can't even tell you what's on my Kindle anymore at this point. I'm probably just going to purge it all.
That's fair. Goodbye.
Because some of them have been sitting there for a while, so I'm just like, you know what? We're done.
Yeah, I think that I might be doing that as well. Because the thing is that I've been downloading a lot on my phone. And for some odd reason, my iPad like doesn't want to show what I've downloaded on my phone. Like it's being very, very strange and I don't like it. And so pretty much I think I'm going to try to go through and finish what I can and see what happens. I really want to try to finish the one for the achievement, which has been a pain in the butt because it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet retelling kind of, but the characters are in a mariachi band. They're in rival mariachi bands.
The Book of Life? Question mark.
No, it's not the Book of Life.
Oh.
But I don't know. I think I fall into the problem where like the girl is just like all the time, just like, I'm against this all the time. And she's like, talks all the time about how she's against this thing. Like all the time, I'm against it, blah, 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 blah. And like, that's all she talks about. And she's talked about it like at least 5 times in this book so far. Like, I'm just annoyed. I get very annoyed. And I'm like, girl, well, I get it. I 100% get it. I don't need you to keep talking about this all the time. I don't. I really don't. So it's just been a slog to get through. I've been struggling. I've been trying to read another book too that it hasn't been a slog to get through, but I just haven't wanted to read. And I haven't wanted to do audiobooks because I was listening to an audiobook that was about the zombie apocalypse, but it's told through the perspective of animals, like pets. And I'm pretty sure a very sad thing happened at the end of the second chapter. And that was chapter 2. And I'm not about that life.
That's a weird premise.
It is. It seemed really cool. But yeah, I think I'm going to DNF it because I'm not here for that.
I mean, I don't blame you.
So anyway, so yeah, there's no answers here today. This is a complaining session. This is where we are complaining about reading slumps and just how much they are not fun.
I mean, I think for me, it's like, especially nowadays, whenever I get into a reading slump, I honestly just go to Wattpad.
I mean, that's fair. And like...
But I mean, what I read on Wattpad is not what everybody gives Wattpad flack for.
Yeah, you find the gems on Wattpad. I don't know how. I don't know how you do it, but you do it.
You need to read in 27 days.
Okay.
Except it depends on which one you read, because if you read the print copy that is in our study, it is different ending from the one that's on Wattpad.
I see.
I don't want to say they're completely different, just some of the stuff is different.
I see. I understand.
Especially in the ending. So...
Yeah, I just haven't found my thing that's my saving grace. And sometimes maybe it's just you do need to take a step back from like...
And I think that's what
reading.
it is. I'd kind of go through my reading slumps during summer. In all honesty. Don't know how it happened that would always be in summer that I'd be like...
I mean, honestly, I feel like I kind of struggled around this time of year last year as well. Just because it's one of those, I think I had read so much in the year up to that point that my brain was just like, it's time for break. No more reading for a bit.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of what I did in school. Because, like, I don't remember a time during school, like, growing up that wasn't... that, like, I went through a reading slump. Because it was every day I had a book.
Yeah, I feel like you did have your slumps over the summer.
Like, I would have my slumps over the summer or something. Like, It was really weird.
Whereas me, I think
Or, my slumps weren't that bad. Like, I don't know what it was. Either I just brute forced my way through these.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, I don't think I ever had a reading slump when I was little. Like, I really don't. Because I think that...
I know you had them in high school.
But that was because I think when I got, especially to like the AP English and stuff, reading those books that you have to read for school could put anybody in a reading slump.
Agree to disagree.
Okay, but you like the classics. I don't.
I do. I got into an argument with a guy on classics, but...
That's neither here nor there.
No, doesn't matter.
Anyway, yeah, I feel like classics, especially if you're not a classic reader and you have to read a lot of them, it can put you in a reading slump. But I think I kind of had a forced reading slump, to be honest with you.
You had it in college. You had like a 4-year reading slump.
Yeah, because I wasn't, like, it was forced. Like, I wasn't allowed. I did not allow myself to read. And if I did, it was stuff that I had already read. So, like...
Yeah, you did things weird in college. I don't know why you did that.
Because everybody was very concerned that I would just read all day, which I would have. Like, I
love
would
how
have.
that was nobody's concern with me. Well, it probably was, and everybody was just like, she's just going to do what she does anyway, so let her go.
Yeah.
That was probably
Yeah,
what that
you
was.
had a lot more, like, control of, like, okay, it's time to do work. Where I definitely, especially in the beginning, if I would have been left to my own devices and if I would have taken, like, all the books and stuff, like, stuff that I haven't, that's new, I would have spent the whole time reading. I would not have gotten stuff done. Like, I would not have studied. So because I do not have that self-control, or I didn't at that time.
I think it's because for me, I had that self-control because it was always at lunch, especially in senior year. It was, if I had homework I didn't finish from first period, at second period, you finish that homework.
Yeah.
Which I'd always finish in the first, like, 5 to 10 minutes of second period. And then second period was my study hall nap period. And then I'd go through the rest of my day, which all I would have after that, third period would be choir, and then fourth would be AP Lit. So by the time I'd get to lunch, I'd only have stuff for AP Lit.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, she never assigned homework.
Yeah.
But if she did, I would do
Just
that homework then. I'd go to my next class. It would be history, which he also never assigned homework. And then from history, I would go to my next study hall. And then what was my last class of the day?
I don't know.
Voice. I had voice. I had a really lax schedule. That was a lovely schedule.
Yeah. Whereas I did not have that. And I also did not have where you had, like, you were in the dance studio all day.
Yeah.
I didn't have that either. So I didn't have to schedule my time as much as you had to. So scheduling my time was definitely not a strong point. I mean, let's be real. It is still not a strong point for me. It is something that I struggle with.
I'm currently kind of struggling with it currently, but it's a me thing because in law school, all the time growing up, I was always you get your stuff done as early as possible and it works. You cannot do that in law school. You will drown.
Yeah.
In the amount of things placed in front of you. Like, you will drown and you will be sinking and there's no life preserver to save you.
Yeah.
So I'm having to take a step back from everything, and that's difficult.
Yeah. You're kind of going through the opposite thing that I went through, but yeah, I definitely struggle a lot with just scheduling time. That's why I have my to-do lists. I've started having my daily to-do list. This is all the things I want to get done today. And
see, for me, I'd have, here's all the things that need to get done today.
Yeah, mine is
and then
more,
here's what I would like to get done today.
Yeah, mine is more, these are the things, like, there are some things that are definitely priority on there, like on my list. And then there are other things that it's just like a recurring thing. Like, writing is a recurring thing on my to-do list, that kind of thing. So there are some things that if I don't get to it, I don't get to it. But at least I'm trying, which is a lot more than what could be said for the past, well, before we moved, essentially. But anyway, this is very long and rambling because, we didn't really have a plan for this going.
No, and my brain wasn't thinking of something because we were going to go with the episode that is going to come out next week. But then I was just like, but I really have to talk in that episode, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually do that.
Yeah, so we're going to give her a week. Hopefully next week she will be feeling better, and
If not, I give up.
If not, it's okay. We'll figure it out. We always do. So, that being said, we want to thank you guys for coming along today through this rambling discussion about reading slumps and law school and other bookish randomness. I don't know what I'm going to title this episode, to be honest with you. We'll find out.
Honestly.
Of course, if you like this episode, if you like what you've been listening to, please consider following the podcast and sharing the episode with your friends. It really would help us to grow the show, and we would appreciate the support those actions would give. Now, to save Belle's voice a little bit, next week what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a bad retelling of Metamorphosis. And this is going to be Belle's bad retelling, actually. Not that I'm going to give you what actually happens in this book, but we are just going to essentially trash talk Metamorphosis the whole time.
Great book to learn symbolism. Sucky book, just all around.
Irrelevant. Symbolism is irrelevant. So, that being said, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.